Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Mama Gets in the building. The one, the only, fierce, foxy, fabulous, live and direct. And today I'm going to be doing a review of the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice collection. I was lucky to go to an event, the Fenty Beauty pop-up shop here in London, and we were given the whole collection. So I'm going to review it today. I've already done the eye here on the right hand side. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the palette. So I will show you what the packaging looks like. It is really, really pretty. So this is what the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice palette looks like. Beautiful box on the outside, and it's got all the names of the eyeshadows at the back. Okay, so this is what the palette looks like from the outside. It's got like purple smoke on it. Really pretty, you know, very, very beautiful. This is what the new one looks like, and I'll just show you next to the old Galaxy palette. The Galaxy palette was the one that came out over the Christmas period. So that's the Galaxy palette. And this is what the new palette, so if you can see, it's the same kind of shape, but you know, this one is a bit more psychedelic. This one on the Fenty, the Moroccan Spice, is the one that's the new one out, and this one is a bit more subtle. I mean, I think there's a big difference. I think both. Huge difference. I mean, this one is all shimmers. If you guys remember from before, they were all shimmers and all foils from last time. Compared to this palette, you have 7 mattes and all the other colors. See, 7 mattes here, if you can see. All 7 mattes, and everything else are foils and shimmers. But I would say at least 3 or 4 of them are quite foily kind of colors. And that's the one I've got on my here called Casablanca. For Casablanca Marrakesh Mirage. I'm going to do swatches for you guys at the end. For me, I think this palette is like a day to night palette. So you can use the mattes for a day look if you want to. And in the evening, you can use the shimmers on top of the matte or to work it. So I know a lot of people have been complaining, oh my god, no, it's a bit just simple. It's a simple palette, and I understand why. It's simple, but also it's something you can use for day and night, in my respect. Compared to the other palette, the Galaxy palette, that was much more out there, you know, going out, whatever. It's really, really out there colors. This one is like in between, so it's like you've got the really bold colors, and you've also got the neutral colors, which are the browns and the warm tone in this side, and then you've got the blues. I mean, these ones here, and if you guys can see it, the good thing is because I've changed my background, my camera can focus better now. So you guys can see. So you've got the shimmers on top. But like I said, I'll do swatches for you at the end of my video. So I've created a look today using the palette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom you in a second. But I just want to talk about the other pieces, other things in the collection. You've also got, she's now got a primer, which I'll even say here it is because I've used it. So I've already used, you know, to do the eye. So you've got a Pro Filter Amplifying Eye Primer, which I find it's like the same size, not same size, same kind of color. If you remember the other primer, the bigger size that we had before, the face primer. So this is the same kind of bottle, but a smaller size type, and it's got a doe foot in it, a doe foot. It's like applicator, if you can see that. It's a nice primer. What I did with it is I used the primer to cut my crease, which is, you know, just to try, but I had to wait for it to dry out a little bit. While cutting the crease, I had to wait for it to dry out before packing on the eyeshadow. So you've got that primer. You've also got, she's also got 2 new brushes. These are the boxes for the brushes. You've got one called the all over eyeshadow brush and the tapered blending brush. It's exactly the same kind of material that they use for the other brush. So this is the all over. It's quite flat. It's a flat, you know, it's like a packing brush, what you call a building brush. All over eyeshadow brush, and then you've got the tapered blending brush, and both of them, they retail for £20. So you've got the primer was £18, the 2 eyeshadow brushes were £20 each, and the eyeshadow palette is £42. Now the brushes, they're nice and soft and fluffy. For me, I'll be honest with you, I feel as if that I was hoping that the price for the brushes would be cheaper. I don't know, maybe it's just me, because there's so many brushes out there, really quite pricey. And I remember one thing I did like about Fenty Beauty when she first launched, the fact that the foundation was much more cheaper than every single other foundation outside that was the same 32ml. I mean, the Huda Beauty foundation was £36 and this was £26. The primer was £24. I mean, there's not many brands that sell primers for that price. So that was my opinion. I mean, for me, the brushes are sweet, they're pretty, but if she's only launching 2, so it's like, you know what, it's just really like basic, here's some brushes to use with the collection. But I would have liked if she had a full set of brushes for a reasonable price. You've got the MAC brushes and the other brushes, they're also pricey, but me, I would have loved this price if this brushes were maybe £10. Maybe that's my opinion. I mean, I've got so many brushes out in myself that I've purchased over time, but this is the only thing that I'm sort of like thinking, for price point, my personal opinion, I wish this was cheaper. That's the only thing. The primer is £18, and I think the eye primer is not bad. It's really lovely. I've used it. I think it's probably going to give a few Urban Decay, you know, eye potion a run for its money. The only thing is I think you do have to wait for it to dry down matte a little bit. But what I did is when I was packing on the eyeshadow, I let it dry down a little bit, and I was able to pack, instead of wetting my brush to put the eyeshadow on, I already had this slightly wet on my face. So there you go. So, and also she's got a new thing out also called Fly Liner, which I think is such a great name, and it's called Cause I'm Black. Right, the Fly Liner, if you look at it, here we go. So can you see the tip of the brush is really, really thin. It is so pretty, and it just really glides on so easily. I am not the greatest person when it comes to eyeliners, but this glides on beautifully. It dries down glossy. It doesn't dry down matte. I don't like eyeliners that dry down matte. And the packaging is so beautiful, so gorgeous, like a beautiful silver pen. Really, really pretty. I mean, just show you guys that. Okay. So on the back of the shadow, I'm just going to go back to talking about the shadow. You've got the names of all the eyeshadows at the back there. And if if someone like yourself, you want to keep the box is also the names, sorry, upside down. The names are also behind the box as well. I've got a lot of Fenty products just to try out some of the shadows and show you what they look like and how they feel. So I'm just going to zoom you guys in and then do this eye so that you can see how the shadow performs. It is quite pigmented. The mattes are quite pigmented. I did have a bit of fallout with the shimmers and the foils, which I normally do my eyeshadow first, so I'm not really stressed about that. But there is a bit of fallout because it's quite sparkly. For example, these colors, Casablanca, Mirage, Marrakesh, Moroccan Ice, those are quite flaky because they've got a bit of sparkle in them. So you will get a bit of fallout. But every other one, I didn't have any fallout when I played with them a little bit. So I'm going to zoom you guys in and then do the other eye and just show you how it performs. Like normal, I didn't, normally I conceal my eye. I only did my brow. So I'm going to zoom you guys in and show you what's it. Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to use the primer all over my lid. I'm going to use one of my brushes just to buff out my primer. The brushes to pat down. I'm going to start off. I'm going to try using this because I use another brush for this. So I'm going to go in with the color Saffron. Just all over my lid here. I find the primer a little sticky. Next, I'm going to go in with Spice Trip, which is this color here. So the first color I used was this one here, which is Saffron, which is like a burnt wine, kind of dark, yeah, winey color. And this one is like a brown, it's like a Spice Trip. Now I'm going to use the primer to just cut my crease. So I'm just going to go over where I've cut the crease just to tidy it up so that it drags a little bit if you wait until you wait for it to dry. That's what I'm looking for with Henna. It's just to tap over the line. there you go. You can see that. I'm now going to use the eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to wet it a little bit. I don't really think I do need to wet it. Let me try it with this and see. I'm just going to tap over. There is a lot of fallout. This color sort of reminds me of Trophy Wife a little bit. Now, the next thing is I'm just going to do the eyeliner. My mirror on this side. It glides on so easily. I'm just gonna go off, put my lashes on, and come back. Okay, so I've finished the eye makeup. I'm shaking my wig. And I actually do like the palette. I like the color payoff is beautiful. It looks really, really good. The brush actually is, when I went over it again, and it does pack color on. I think what happened was I didn't let the primer dry. Once the primer dried, I mean, look at the color, like it's the saffron is really coming through. Saffron is really, really coming through. So because I let it dry, then the primer really worked more than when I was still trying to drag it while it was still wet. I mean, I was doing it like when I do concealer. You know, for example, when you're trying to put eyeshadow on your eyes, with the concealer, you need it to be wet. With this primer, you actually need it to be dry for it to perform very, very well. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I am going to just use my normal highlight and contour for you guys. Just going to use a little bit of the Fenty Beauty foundation and concealer. So today I'm going to use the 450. .460 is too red. I've never tried the 440, but I think I might go for that next time. But the thing is, this foundation sort of is my perfect match. Next, I'm going to go for the matchstick in Latte and Espresso. I'm just going to use that to highlight now. So I've done that. I'm just going to use Espresso just to contour my cheekbones. Use a little bit just to contour my nose and my forehead as well. I'm using a bit of dark deep just to powder underneath my contour and my highlight. Not underneath, over my contour and my highlight. Because I've used the contours too, but I do still, I think, and this Espresso is the darkest. But I'm one of those people, I really do like a little bit of more contour than normal. So what I am going to do next, I've got Mimosa Sunrise. Ooh. I'll use a bit of Mimosa Sunrise. Oh, this is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, look at that. I'm going to use a little bit of that, just a tiny bit, because on the cheekbone. Ooh. The sunrise on the cheekbones. I'm liking this. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the palette and I use a little bit of the blue underneath. I've been wanting to do something a bit different, so I'm going to do that. So this one, yeah, blue there. A tiny brush. This is called Evil Genie. I'm going to put a little bit of Evil Genie underneath the eyes. So yeah, this is not bad. This is lovely. What I'm going to do is I have a lipstick here. This is Greselda, which is a quite nice dark spicy lipstick. Let's try this one and see what it's. And this is my look, guys. So yes, this is what I rustled up with the Moroccan Spice palette. I've got my jewelry on. So yeah, it's for me, it's a pretty nice palette, and I know why they did this palette, because the first one they had was a very party out there. It was called the Galaxy palette. It was really out there. I mean, the colors were really quite bold. But this one is a day and night palette. So yeah, what else can I say? It is a day and night palette. It's beautiful. The colors are great. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do some swatches for you guys, and yeah, and that's it really. But in conclusion, I think it's a really pretty palette. If you are into Fenty beauty and this is the kind of thing you like, go for it. And it's one of those palettes. One of the reasons I like it is this: it's got a mirror. You've got warm tones, so you've got colors you can wear during the day for work, and if you decide, you know what, I want to go out in the evening after work, I've got these quite shimmery bold colors, I can just top it up. That's one of the reasons why I like this palette. It's like a day and night palette, and it's something that's really quite small and compact. The average palette you get out there, you know, they're not very compact, but this one is quite solid as well. So the packaging is solid, so if it drops on the floor, it's not going to damage or anything of that nature. I mean, it's got a great size mirror as well, so you can do your face, your makeup. It's pretty, the colors are lovely. I mean, it's supposed to be a fall kind of color, kind of palette, you know, spicy browns and warm tones, and you've got some bold blues and colors and some really lovely shimmers. So I think anybody would have fun with this palette. So I mean, if you can look at the eye look I've created today, I'm really pretty, and you know, I'm feeling quite, you know, spicy. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will do the swatches for you guys now, but yeah, thank you so much. Take care. God bless you guys. Please like and subscribe, and you know, probably I'll be down there somewhere, and I'll put all the description of everything I used today, all the products I use. Like I said, it was the Greselda lipstick that I ended up going for, but I was gonna maybe make it a two-tone, like maybe put something else in the middle, maybe shorty. Let's see, let's try, let's be bold, let's be spicy. Let's see, I've got this one, it's called Shorty. Let's see, maybe I might put some in the middle. Different. Yeah, that gives it a lift. Ooh. So yeah, we've topped it up. I think this one's called Shorty. I can't even see. The writing is so small on these lipsticks, but yeah, so there we go. So hold on, it's called Spanked. Got a big Greselda and Spanked together. So yeah, this is the lipstick I've used for the Moroccan Spice palette look, and there. So this is it, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. So the swatches will be at the end, and I'll come back and have a little chat, and we are good to go. Yeah, so I've swatched off camera. These are all the shimmery colors. I use a primer, the eye primer, on my arm first of all before doing them. So I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm trying my best because my arms are hurting, but that's what they look like swatched for you guys. So these are all the shimmery colors. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more. Oh, it is really pigmented. When I did them, they were really quite pigmented. So there you go. That's the first lot. Give me a second, I'll come back. Mattes swatched. I actually had to use a brush for them to swatch, because with my fingers it was impossible. With the brush, it came out nicely. To tell you that they are pigmented, but it's better to use the brush. But I mean, at the end of the day, nobody really use eyeshadow with fingers. You normally use a brush. So this is what they look like. I did put the primer down, so yeah, and I used this brush here. A couple of brushes, but they're all packing brushes, so that was, and this is the 1 or 2 swipes with the brush. So there you go. So in conclusion, good lord, in conclusion, guys, I really did enjoy playing with the palette today. The swatch payoff for me, it was better with a brush at the end of the day. if you're going to use eyeshadows, you're going to use a brush anyway. So when I was swatching it with the matte, I found that it was better for me to swatch with the brush. But as shimmers, it was fine when I used my fingers. And another thing is the primer doesn't come off. So I've tried to take this primer off with just normal wipes and it does not come off. It just goes to show that it is a solid primer. So when you do put eyeshadow on your eyes with the primer, it is going to last long, because I've had to try and do this. I've had to actually use cleansing wipes, proper makeup wipes to remove this, and it still hasn't come off yet. So I mean, look at that. That's part of the residue of the primer. So there. So I've really enjoyed this collection. It's a beautiful collection. Like I said to you before, for me, the palette is a day and night palette. And I get why she did something different, because people complained the first palette had no mattes at all whatsoever. It was basically shimmers, and it was like a party palette, because it was in November that last year she released that one, closer to Christmas. But this one, it's, you know, we're now ending of summer, beginning of almost fall. So this is like a fall. I mean, it's a really lovely palette. It's something that I could see myself using constantly, in the sense that when I'm going out, I've got a small palette. I don't have to have a huge, big palette, you know, like some palettes that you have. So it's really pretty. The packaging is lovely. I mean, the mirror size is beautiful, just the right size when you're doing your makeup. The brushes, actually in the end, this brush was actually pretty. It was really lovely, and it did glide on it easily. I needed for the primer to dry. I was trying to do it while the primer was still wet, and that was a bit of a struggle. I am going to be honest, for me personally, I think nowadays there's so many brushes out there. If you are going to bring out a brush, I mean, the foundation brush is one of the best foundation brushes I ever have. I mean, I know some people sell foundation brush for more than 20-something pounds, but I would have liked the set to be slightly cheaper. And if she did another bigger set of 5 or 10 brushes, then have a set price for it, that would really be lovely. I think that would be a great thing. I mean, we don't know what Fenty is going to be bringing out next. I think they should definitely have proper blushes. You know, they've got the Killawatt highlighters and blushes. I think they're going to, you know, probably do more. I have a feeling that these eyeliners are probably going to be many more colors. But this was a beautiful eyeliner. It glided on really easily. I enjoyed it, because I'm one of those women, I struggle doing a cat eyeliner. So this was really quite good. The nib or tip of the eyeliner was really glided easily. It was nice and not bad for 17 quid. I mean, I've seen more expensive ones of 25 or 30 pounds. This is like the Marc Jacobs on the other prices, but this was really lovely, and it didn't dry matte. It dried gloss, and I like a glossy eyeliner. So yeah, I think I've rambled enough, guys. So yeah, please don't make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I will be doing another video. So this one, hopefully this tonight, editing it to come out tomorrow. I mean, I should have done this last week, but I had so many other videos to do as well. So yes, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Mama Yets, Twitter, Mama Yets, you to know Dolly Actress, Mama Yets. Mama Yets, Mama Yets, Mama Yets. So yeah, take care, guys. Peace, love, and hair grease. Turn to the left. I'm loving this. Take care, guys. Bye.